Morning everyone, welcome to today's Children's Mental Health live stream session for special schools. Really nice to see you all today. My name's Kath Thompson from Liverpool Learning Partnership, and as you can see I'm outside somewhere that makes me feel really good. Now some of you that live around the Everton area might recognise this view. See if you can guess where it is. So I'm sitting here in Everton Brow, and this is one of the places that I come to when I want to feel good, because it's calm, it's peaceful, and just makes me feel really, really positive. So today we're going to be thinking about how sound makes us feel. Sound and other senses like touch and smell, but these things can all have an impact on how we feel. So just for a moment, I want you to think about somewhere that you really like to be. Somewhere that makes you happy or calm. I want you to think about the sounds and the smells, maybe even how it feels and what you can see all around. I want you to tell somebody what that place is. Let's just sit here for a moment and listen to the sounds around.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this session. Really fantastic to have you here. I want to give a special shout out to Childwall Valley School, Childwall Abbey School, and also Sandfield Park, who are watching this afternoon. Really great to see you guys here. I'm going to introduce someone to join me today to present this programme. This is all part of Children's Mental Health Week. We've been putting on sessions all the way through the week. And we're going to be thinking today a little bit about how feelings can be impacted by sound. You just saw me in one of my favourite places on Everton Brow, where I can just sit and watch and listen, and it's nice and quiet, well, except when it's a bit windy, which was in my phone the other day. I want you to just take a moment and just think, where is your special place? Where do you like to be? Somewhere that makes you feel happy and positive and calm. And just while you're doing that, I'm going to introduce you to Pete, who's coming all the way from Childwall Abbey School to join us today. Hiya, Pete.
Hi, everyone.
It's great to have you with us today. So can you tell us a little bit about what you do, please?
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I work at Childwall Abbey School. I am one of the support staff, but one of my roles is supporting young people's emotional and mental well-being, making sure that we're looking after our minds and our thoughts and feelings.
Okay, and that sounds like a really important role in a school. Why is it important to look after our feelings and our minds?
I think it's really, really important to look after our feelings and our minds, because if we haven't got that sorted out, then we're not in a position where we're ready to learn, and therefore we can't get the best of our education. So having that support when we need it, we don't always need it all the time, but when we need it, will help us with everything else. Getting that bottom layer in place is really, really important.
Yeah, definitely. And I was talking before about where I go to feel good. So have you got a particular place or thing that you like to do, Pete, that makes you feel good?
Yeah, I love being outdoors. Another part of my role is I spend a lot of time outdoors. I deliver Forest Schools and Duke of Edinburgh, but I really, really love being by the coast. So I like going down to the beach. That's one of my favourite places to be.
And when you're down at the beach, are there any particular kind of sights or smells or sounds that kind of make you feel good and positive?
Yeah, I mean, I love watching the world go by, watching what's happening outdoors and what's going on around me. I love the sound of the water, as the tide's coming in and out, birds flying past. And unfortunately, in this country, the wind's quite often a big part of that.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to be thinking a little bit more about these places and all those young people that are watching at the moment. If you're with somebody, maybe just let them know where you feel good. It could be in your bedroom. It could be somewhere you like to go. Obviously, at the moment, we're struggling to get out and go places, aren't we? But, oh, we've just got a message that's come up from Chilwell Abbey. We love the outdoors, and what a great view. Yeah, absolutely. It is a great view over the city. And one of the things I was saying to my friend Sophie, who you're going to see in a minute, is that the other day when I was sitting there, I was feeling really happy, really peaceful and calm. And then all of a sudden I felt quite sad. And the reason I felt quite sad was because actually I was looking over the city, over Liverpool, and all of a sudden started to think about all the friends and work colleagues that I can't see at the moment because of the lockdown. So a whole load of emotions just from that one place. So we're going to have a little think now, and I'm just popping something back on the screen. So if you want to join in with us this afternoon, you can ask for a shout out and we'll say hello to you. If you want to answer any of our questions or maybe ask Pete or I a question, you can do that as well. Just pop it in the Padlet and we will have a look at it and approve it, and then it can come onto the show and we'll hear from you. So please do that. Okay, so I'm going to move us on a little bit, and I want us to think about how we are feeling. So sometimes when we think about how we feel, we can use a scale called the Raw Rainbow, and it's just a scale of how we feel from 1 to 10. So Pete, if you were feeling like right down at the bottom of that rainbow, what kind of things might you be feeling if you were down there?
I think you'd be feeling quite sad, maybe worried, upset or angry about what may be happening or what might have happened. So all them quite negative emotions and negative feelings and thoughts.
And what about if you were top end of the rainbow, up in that green section? What would that feel like?
I think you'd be looking at, excitement and, happy, elation, really, positive things, looking forward to something.
Absolutely. So I know this morning when I started the day, I was quite tired this morning. So I was feeling quite low down that rainbow. But then when I started doing the session and speaking to people, all of a sudden my number went up that rainbow. So I just want you to think for a moment and maybe talk again to somebody that you're with about what number you're feeling. Or you might want to point to the colours on the rainbow and decide whether you're up at that green, feeling quite happy and positive, or whether you might be feeling lower down that rainbow. So just take a moment, turn around to the person next to you or with you and let them know how you are feeling. Now, we might not see this, we might not be able to say this number, it's not always obvious by what we say, but sometimes it's about how we look, our body language. Do you ever see that in your school, Pete, when you see someone and you just know what number they're feeling by the way that they look? Oh, sorry, Pete, I've put you on mute.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, you can tell a lot by people's body language, and it's true what they say. It's sometimes not what people are saying, it's what they're not saying. Particularly if someone comes in and they're unhappy, you can usually tell by their body language. And likewise, if they come in and they're really excited or happy about something, again, you can tell by what their body's doing rather than what they're saying to you.
Yeah, and it can do all sorts of things, doesn't it, to your body? So sometimes when we feel like worried or a bit nervous about something, we might notice that our muscles start to go really tight and tense. Sometimes people get all tight in their neck and maybe even start getting a sore neck. Or sometimes, have you ever seen anybody that's gone a bit red when they've felt a bit embarrassed in their face? So a whole load of different ways we can express our feelings. So I'm going to just ask now my friend Sophie to come into the picture. Hiya, Soph.
Hi, everybody.
First of all, Soph, before we do anything else, what is your number today? How are you feeling?
I'm probably about an 8 or a 9. I'm feeling really positive and good today.
That's brilliant. What's made you feel that way today?
So I've just had lunch, so food always makes me happy. And also, I did a previous session this morning, so if anybody's seen that, and we were dancing, and dancing instantly lifts my mood, and good music. So yeah, that's why I'm feeling good today.
Brilliant. So what I wanted to speak to Sophie about today is Sophie's actually a dancer, so you use your body, don't you, to express your emotion all the time. And we've been talking about how we're feeling, our different emotions, and I mentioned 3 different emotions this morning. I mentioned that I was quite happy, that I was peaceful, and then also when I was looking over that picture of the city, I also felt a bit sad. So I just wondered if you could sort of show us how you might express those with your body.
Okay, guys. So the thing with our positive emotions, we want to make sure our body is really open. And then sort of at the bottom of the rainbow, which would be our like number 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, maybe. A lot of those emotions would be quite closed. So like what Pete was saying, our negative emotions. So if we think about happy first, so some things you can do sitting and you can do it standing up. But I'm going to do everything sitting for you today. The thing with happy is that we want it to be really open, really bright, and really big, okay? So I'm going to do 2 things. So one, I'm going to do quite a big movement. And then the second, I'm going to do quite a small movement, just if people might not feel comfortable doing it. But something that I love, like Kat said, is expressing how I feel through emotions. So we're going to start with happy first. So happy to me would be if I was sort of on my side and then I do a big stretch and then another big stretch, okay? And then the smaller one would be like this with your 2 hands sweep around your face and then a little bit of a jazz hand at the end because everybody loves a jazz hand. So it would be, a big one would be over and then it's sort of like you're painting a rainbow, and then the small one would be you doing a big circle with your hands and then finishing with your jazz hands. And then like Kat said, her second emotion that she was feeling when she was looking out onto the city, which is the most beautiful view, is calm and peaceful. So for calm and peaceful, it might be quite a neutral. So this might be where we're on our like 6, 7s on our rainbow. So maybe our like yellow colours. So the big one would be you'd bring your arms forward and then sort of do like your namaste, sort of as if you were going to do some yoga or mindfulness. And if you didn't want to do the big arms, you could literally just put your hands together. And then our third one is sad. And sad would be at the bottom of the rainbow, and this is where our sort of negative emotion would be. I'm just going to move back a little bit. So sad would be you're going to put your arms round and sort of crouch down. And if you didn't want to do that one, you could literally just put your hands over your eyes. So there's 6 movements, and the thing with this is that you could actually make it into a bit of choreography and a bit of a dance. So if I put all of them together, I'll do the big one, the small one, the big one, the small one, and the big one, and the small one. And this literally will be like 10 seconds, and sometimes it might be really good. And the way that we use dance is that sometimes we might not be able to communicate with our voice. So by using our bodies, it might be a lot easier for family members, staff, friends to understand how we're feeling. So I'm just going to put it all together, and you might want to do this at home with some relaxing music, or if you want to get up and have a bit of a boogie, that's absolutely fine. So the first one will be the rainbow, and then the rainbow, and then we do a smallish rainbow, and then our jazz hands. And then calm would be your big arms coming round, and then put your arms down, and then the smaller one would just be your arms up. And then sadness would be your arms round and hugging yourself. And if you didn't want to do that one, you could just put your hands over your eyes. And that's it, really easy, simple, but it's something that we all love to do. And like I said today, I was feeling the 3 this morning, and then I got up and did a dance, and now I'm feeling about a 7 or 8. So let me know how you get on, put your comments in the chat, and have a wonderful day. See you later.
Thank you, Sophie. And I've just had a comment come up saying, I love dancing. It makes me feel really happy. And I know one of the schools this morning, I think it was Childwall Abbey, said that some of the girls have been dancing in the playground at the break time. So maybe that's a bit of a challenge for all of those people that like movement, that like expressing themselves with their bodies, that they might be able to think about a few moves to express how they feel using dance. And we would love to see some of those movements and some of those things that you create at the Padlet, and we maybe even be able to share them on the show. Sophie, thank you so much. Really appreciate you showing us those today.
No
See you
worries.
soon. Bye-bye. Bye. So another thing that you could be doing, so not everybody likes to dance and move, and for some people that could be quite restrictive. But other people might like to express themselves through drawing. And I've just done this little blob challenge, so we can draw 3 different blobs. Think about some different emotions. So I've put my 3 emotions there, that I was calm, I was happy, and I was sad. And I've just added some face into the blob to express. And remember that happy for some people doesn't have a big smiley face. For some people, it can be quite a straight face, but behind their face, they're still feeling happy. So it's about knowing how you express yourself and how you feel. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask Pete to come back in, because today was about sound. And I just wanted to ask you, Pete, do you think sound can actually change the way that we feel and change our emotions?
Yeah, I think it can. I mean, I know personally for me, if I'm feeling unhappy or anything like that, I can either go off for a walk outside or put some music on, and it's amazing what sound can actually do. Sound has a really, really positive effect on people's mental state and how they're feeling and what they're thinking, without people really realising it.
And is it true that sometimes too much sound can have a bit of a negative effect as well?
Definitely, yes. I mean, obviously, there could be a time where there is far too much going on, and you just think, "Oh, I can't cope with this. I need to get out of the space and need maybe some quiet or somewhere quieter to be." I know that in school, that's what we have some students who are that way. They get overwhelmed by the amount of noise that might be in a room, and they will either take themselves off out and have some quiet time, or maybe use some ear defenders, which kind of makes that sound a little bit softer, so it's not in your face.
So I just wanted to show you some things about sound, and I'm wondering if there's anyone out there that likes movies and films. I know I certainly love movies and films. And someone's just come in and said that they like the sound of the sea, a bit like you, Pete, earlier. So somebody out there likes the sound of the sea. So we're going to have a little look now at music and how music can really change our emotions. So I'm going to play a little clip for you. I just need to find my little clip. Here it is.
Hello and welcome to NPR's Class Notes. I'm Allison Young. Today we're going to explore the various ways that music communicates emotion. And we're going to do that with the help of a friend of mine. Meet Clark the Caterpillar. Have you ever noticed that when you listen to music, it often makes you feel a certain way? It's kind of like feeling peaceful at the sound of a quiet stream, versus feeling jittery when you're in heavy traffic surrounded by a lot of cars beeping their horns. Composers know this, so when they write music, they use different strategies to help create an emotional response in listeners. Let's listen to a work by Bernard Herrmann, which was used in a very famous movie. How does this music make you feel? Did the music make you feel fear? Now listen to a short cut from Claude Debussy. How does this music make you feel? Did the music make you feel calm? Here's another example that might convey a different emotion. How does this piece by Frédéric Chopin make you feel? Did the music make you feel sad? Finally, let's listen to a piece by Gustav Holst that sets a very different tone. How does this music make you feel? Did you guess happiness? Well, if you didn't, that's okay. While it's true that composers try to make us feel a certain way when listening to music, everybody's different, and there are no right or wrong answers. So when you listen to music, just let your heart run free. Let your imagination go wild and see where the adventure takes you.
Okay, so I don't know about you, but when Clark first got hit by that car, I was quite upset. But I'm really glad he got put back together. Somebody's just said something about scary music, and I think one of the people who was watching our Padlet said that sometimes loud noises make them quite scared. So we can see there that the impact that music has on the way we're feeling. And particularly, I don't know whether you noticed that point where Clark was really quite anxious and worried, felt really scared. But then when the sound changed and the music changed, he started feeling completely different, even though he was still in that dark tunnel. And that's something that can be really positive when we are feeling quite worried or our numbers quite low. Have you got any experiences of this, Pete, with the young people you work with?
I mean, yeah, obviously everyone has their good and bad days, don't they? Adults included. And I think it is a journey, and to remember the tunnel's only so long, and the music does, it went right through the whole range, didn't it? To begin with, quite fearful and frightful, and then it was more of a calming and relaxed sort of vibe before we got to that sadness where poor Clark was hit by the car. And then obviously put back together again, we got to that excited or that happy bit where it was really quite upbeat and fast. So yeah, it does. It happens, regularly, and it's how we deal with that and how we manage it ourselves.
Absolutely. And for some people, music might be one of those things, and sound might be one of those things that does help you to deal with your feelings, and especially when those feelings are feeling quite big. For some people, it might be touch, it might be the feel of a certain thing, it might be something like a blanket that makes you feel secure. Sometimes it might be something to taste or to fiddle with. So it really does depend on you. We're going to hear in a little moment from Sandfield Park, and they're going to share a piece of music that they created. And I know there's some pupils at that school that are really, really passionate about their music. But before we do that, I just want to quickly share something with you. And that's a little challenge. So it's something that you can maybe do after today's session. Trying to put myself back on the screen. So we want you to think about sounds that you like and that make you feel good. Okay, you might want to write those down, you might want to draw them, you might just want to think about them. Some of you that might have playlists, you might want to put together a list of songs or things that you really like. But we want you to find some things, and we want you to share them with somebody. It could be with your class friends, it could be with your family, it could be with your teachers, but find somebody and tell them about the song. So I just want to ask Pete, is there a particular song that you like that makes you feel good?
particular song, to be honest with you. I like loads and loads of different music, so just music in general. Any sort of music would do. I couldn't pick a favourite. That's just too difficult.
Okay, thanks. And then the second part of this little challenge is to think about sounds that maybe you don't like or make you feel bad, and they could be for a whole load of reasons. It might be linked to a memory. Sometimes it's okay to sit with those feelings and think about them, but I want you to think about some of the things that maybe make you feel sad, and again, share those with somebody. It's really, really important to share them with people. I've just seen something come up about Lego. I don't know, Nicola, can you pop that one up for us again? I think somebody was building something out of Lego. Building Lego makes me feel relaxed. Yeah, absolutely. My son loves building Lego, and it totally calms him down. So it's about finding that thing, isn't it, that you do that makes you feel good. So we're going to kind of finish off our session there today, and we're really excited that you joined us for this Mental Health Week. We're going to finish our session today by sharing something from one of our schools from the Now Festival. The Now Festival, in fact, Sophie, you're still there in the background. Can you just tell us what the Now Festival is about while I find this clip, please?
Hi everyone. So the Now Festival is sort of our theatre and performing arts festival, and we could do it every year, and we pick a theme, and then from that theme you have to either come up with a drama piece, a poem, a song, a dance, a play, absolutely anything you want. But I know Sandfield Park, they did a film for theirs, which was great, and they did their own music video. So normally we do it face-to-face, but obviously with COVID we are going to be doing it virtually this year, and maybe later on in the year. So keep your eyes out if you want to get involved.
Thanks, Soph. So I'm going to finish off with this clip from Sandfield Park. I just want to say goodbye to Sophie and Pete. I really all say goodbye to them. Thank you guys for joining us today. Really appreciate it. And thank you guys all for watching. And we know that you're going to enjoy this clip from Sandfield Park as they're talking about what it feels like to belong. And I think that's such an important message for this Mental Health Week, to know that we belong somewhere, that we've got friends and we've got a place where we can express ourselves and be who we are without worrying about what other people think. So over to Sandfield Park.
The variant rightness in this film.
In school, we all feel alright.
We have diversity shining light.
Nothing can ever not.
Strong support around.
We feel safe, we feel free.
We're one big educational family.
We give strength to one another.
Learning with our sisters and brothers.
We feel welcome when you walk through the door.
People want you more and more.
Listen in ears when you need to talk.
To those who open their door.
There is always a lot to give, forever learning something new. It is hard to feel blue when you're with this amazing crew. We all need to belong, to be the best that we can be. Sometimes I need to be part of a team to feel like me. We all need to belong, to be the best that we can be. Sometimes I need to be part of a team to feel like me.
In school, we get to speak our views about mental health to lose the blues. Such a good place to feel included. Nobody likes to be excluded. The vibe around school is the best that it's ever been. Using teamwork will achieve anything. Round the corner, surprises await.
A good start to like your creativity. People like Brit all need to know best. Did a bad teacher. Everyone in school wants to know.
My stage to help your confidence grow. Number one policy, come and direct.
In our school we all show respect.
High five's all about doing our best.
Provided in the SPS on our checks.
Opportunities open the doorway to anywhere, so you never know where you're gonna go. You never know where you're gonna go. Opportunities open the doorway to anywhere, so you never know where you're gonna go. You never know where you're gonna go. We all need to belong, to be the best that we can be. Sometimes I need to be part of a team to feel like me. We all need to belong, to be the best that we can be. Sometimes I need to be part of a team to feel like me.
To all the peoples that have come and gone, for the drive and spirit that carries on.
Friendship and sport keeping us strong.
To feel part where you belong.
Stepping stones that you can use.
To try lots of activities you can choose.
Things to think about for the future you. Internships, college and jobs to name a few. There is always a lot to do. Forever learning something new. It is hard to feel blue when you're with this amazing crew. We all need to belong, to be the best that we can be. Sometimes I need to be part of a team to feel like me. We all need to belong, to be the best that we can be. Sometimes I need to be part of a team to feel like me.